Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're cutting straight to the chase on a topic that can genuinely transform your business operations and budget. Buying used equipment. It's often quicker, more sustainable, maybe more cost-effective than purchasing new. But, and it's a pretty significant but, there are hidden traps if you don't, know exactly what you're looking for. So let's unpack this. We're diving deep into the critical checks you need to make when buying a used forklift, specifically here in the UK. Our mission: to give you a clear shortcut, sort of, to being incredibly well-informed, making sure you get real value for your money, and steer clear of those expensive mistakes. Our insights today are mainly drawn from a really practical guide by Angus Lift Trucks. It's a fantastic real-world resource for these kinds of big decisions.
It's an absolutely crucial dive, definitely. While the immediate savings of a used forklift are certainly attractive.
Yeah, they jump out at you.
They do. But the long-term implications and the potential pitfalls mean that due diligence isn't just smart, it's essential. What's often overlooked, I think, is how many factors extend far beyond just the initial sticker price. They impact everything from your daily productivity right down to your bottom line.
That really is the core of it. And let's maybe start with something that sounds obvious. The machine's condition and its history.
Right.
It's easy for buyers to assume low hours, good forklift, right?
Yeah.
But our source suggests that hours can actually be a very, very misleading metric.
This is where a lot of buyers have that aha moment. You see, the general lifespan for forklift is typically somewhere between 10,000 and 20,000 operating hours. However, a study by the Forklift Truck Association, the FTA, kind of throws a curveball.
Okay.
They found a well-serviced forklift can easily hit 10,000, 12,000 hours, maybe even more, but a poorly maintained one, it might only limp along to 5,000 or 6,000 hours before major problems start piling up.
Wow, that's a huge difference.
It is. The real insight here: hours can lie. It's the maintenance records that tell the true story about a forklift's lifespan and its condition.
Okay, so if that hour meter isn't telling the whole story, what should we really be scrutinizing when we're inspecting a potential purchase?
Right, you need to get hands-on,
Yeah.
definitely. Beyond just looking at the hours, check for smooth lifting mechanisms. Any sort of jerking or grinding noise is an immediate red flag. Examine the mast really thoroughly, look for bends, cracks, check the forks for excessive wear, thinning, or damage. And the tires, deep cuts, uneven tread, that sort of thing. Look at all the essential components for visible signs of wear and tear, rust, any damage that basically screams it's had a hard, neglected life.
Okay.
But maybe the most critical piece of the puzzle: demand comprehensive maintenance records. These are like the machine's entire medical history. They document every service, every repair.
That makes sense. It's the proof.
Exactly. And, if we connect this to the bigger picture, that FTA data shows that even a forklift with relatively high hours, say 5,000 or 6,000, can actually be a fantastic investment if it comes with a meticulous service history. It's truly about the full story of its care, its condition now, not just that single number on the clock.
That really reframes how you look at it initially. So, okay, you found what seems like a good deal up front. Looks okay, maybe the hours aren't too bad. You got some records. But here's where it gets really interesting, I think. What happens when parts are needed? Because they will be needed at some point, and this takes us straight into what we call the hidden costs.
Exactly. Downtime. Downtime due to unavailable parts is, it's a silent killer for productivity, a massive issue for businesses. There are estimates suggesting that unavailable parts cost UK businesses something like $180 billion annually.
Wow, $180 billion.
Yeah, it's a staggering figure. And that alone should really underscore why you absolutely must factor in the cost and, crucially, the availability of replacement parts when you're buying used. The problem often crops up with older models or maybe more obscure makes. Parts might be out of production, incredibly difficult to source, or just prohibitively expensive when you do find them.
So what's the strategy then? What can you do?
Your action here needs to be proactive research. You've got to dive into the market for common replacement parts of the specific model you're looking at. Think about things like batteries, hydraulic seals, filters, tires. Compare these costs with what you'd expect for a comparable new machine. That's really how you start to calculate the true long-term expenses, not just that tempting upfront sticker price.
Right. Is there a way to sort of build in a safety net, a strategy to mitigate this risk right from the start? to maybe ensure better parts availability down the line?
Absolutely. Our source strongly advises sticking with well-known, reputable brands. Think Toyota, Hyster, Caterpillar, the big names.
Yeah.
These major manufacturers often guarantee part availability for a solid 10 years after a model has been discontinued. That provides invaluable peace of mind against future headaches and unexpected downtime.
And I guess that strategic choice of brand ties directly into the bigger concept you mentioned, total cost of ownership.
Precisely. The upfront price is just one, often quite small, fraction of the whole equation. You need to calculate the total cost of ownership, the TCO. That encompasses all the expenses over the machine's operational life with you. So things like fuel costs for internal combustion models.
Right, the diesel or gas.
Exactly. Or for electric forklifts, the crucial battery life and potential replacement costs, which can be significant. Then there's the frequency and the expense of scheduled maintenance. And critically, the potential costs of downtime if the machine proves unreliable. Lost work, lost revenue. And here's a, well, maybe surprising fact for some. Electric forklift trucks can actually be 20% to 40% cheaper to maintain and service than their IC counterparts over their lifetime.
That's quite a difference. So the key takeaway for businesses like yours listening: don't let those initial savings blind you. Don't get fixated on just the purchase price. The potential long-term financial drain from unexpected repairs and lost productivity can wipe out any initial bargain. The true deal is in that total cost of ownership.
That's it.
Okay, so you've checked the mechanics, the oily bits, you've crunched the numbers on the money side, the TCO. Now, let's talk about avoiding the legal headaches. What does all this mean for navigating regulatory compliance and documentation? Because as you said, this isn't just about ticking boxes.
You've hit the nail on the head there. Ignoring regulatory compliance can lead to really serious legal and safety issues. We're talking hefty fines, potentially invalid insurance, and far worse, workplace accidents. So you need to look for several key documents and markings. First up, the LOLR certificate. Think of it like the MOT for a car, but specifically for lifting equipment. It's a legal requirement here in the UK for all lifting equipment, and it demands a thorough examination, as they call it, at least once a year, sometimes more frequently depending on usage.
Okay, LOLR cert. Got it. What else?
Then there's the CE marking. This has been mandatory for machinery sold in the EU since 1994. It signifies the product's compliance with essential health and safety requirements, including the Machinery Directive. You need to see that mark. Closely linked to that is the Declaration of Conformity, or DOCE. This is a formal document from the manufacturer stating that the forklift complies with all the relevant EU directives.
Right, the manufacturer's guarantee, essentially.
In a way, yes. You also need to verify the identity plates and labels. These absolutely must be clearly visible and legible. They detail the manufacturer, model, serial number, year of manufacture, and vitally, the safe working load, or SWL. And finally, pure compliance. That's the provision and use of work equipment regulations. Similar to OLR, it dictates regular maintenance, inspections, and ensures the equipment is genuinely suitable and safe for its intended use.
That sounds like quite a checklist.
Yeah.
And beyond these mandatory items, I suppose it's always smart to ask the seller for any additional maintenance logs or modification records they might have.
Oh, absolutely. They can provide invaluable context about the machine's history and how it's been treated. The critical point here for you listening is that these documents aren't just bureaucracy. They are concrete proof of the machine's safety, its legality, and its operational integrity. They protect your business from potentially devastating fines and accidents. Don't skip this part.
Really important stuff. Okay, so a truly smart purchase isn't just about getting the machine onto your premises. It's about making a long-term, intelligent investment. Let's delve into resale value thinking ahead and the absolutely crucial aspect of after-sales support.
Right. Well, one of the immediate financial benefits of buying used is avoiding that steepest cliff of depreciation that hits brand new machines, especially in their first few years.
Yeah, like driving a new car off the forecourt.
Exactly the same principle.
Yeah.
And the data here is quite compelling. Our source indicates that Toyota forklifts, for instance, typically retain around 58% of their value after 5 years. That's significantly higher than the industry average, which is closer to 47%.
Interesting. What makes the difference then? What drives good resale value?
Several factors. Brand reputation is huge, as we just discussed with parts. The model's popularity and its versatility can it do lots of different jobs. Then, of course, its overall condition and, again, that meticulously kept maintenance history. Any technological features or upgrades it has can also help.
So doing your homework on market trends for specific makes and models is key there. But what about when you actually own it? and inevitably, things might need attention or don't go quite according to plan.
This raises a really important question about warranties and that post-purchase support. You absolutely need to inquire if any warranty remains on the used forklift you're considering. If there is, what exactly does it cover? Is it just the powertrain, the battery, specific components, and are there options, perhaps through the seller or a third party, to extend that warranty?
Right, understanding the small print.
Definitely. And beyond formal warranties, consider the after-sale support offered by the seller. Do they provide access to maintenance services, prompt repairs, easy access to spare parts, specialist technicians who know that machine? A reputable seller with robust after-sales support can be an invaluable partner if, or rather when, issues arise.
Makes sense.
So for your purchasing decision, thinking strategically about resale value down the line and ensuring you have comprehensive support in place can genuinely elevate a good purchase into a truly great long-term asset for your business.
Okay, let's tackle the financial intricacies a bit more, specifically tax and grants, which can often feel like, well, a bit of a maze, especially here in the UK landscape.
Yes, it's important to understand the distinctions, particularly between buying new and used in terms of tax benefits. For new forklifts, the UK government offers some pretty significant incentives. We're talking about things like full capital allowances, which currently allow a 100% deduction from taxable profits in the year of purchase. That could potentially save you 25p for every £1 spent.
That's substantial.
It is. There's also the annual investment allowance, or AIA, which provides 100% first-year relief on qualifying plant and machinery investments up to £1 million for most businesses.
Okay, so that's for new. What about used? Do you miss out completely?
Not completely, no. While those immediate 100% deductions aren't usually available for a used forklift, you can still claim capital allowances. This usually happens through tax relief on the asset's depreciation over time, using what are called writing down allowances. And crucially, if you're VAT registered, you can typically reclaim VAT on both new and used purchases. However, there are specific rules under the VAT margin scheme for secondhand goods, so it's always wise to consult your accountant for clarity on your specific situation.
Good advice. Always check with the professionals. Now, beyond tax relief, are there any grants available that could, sweeten the deal for a used purchase, particularly if you're looking at maybe a more eco-friendly electric model?
Yes, definitely worth looking into. There are various schemes out there, especially those focused on incentivizing low-emission machinery or supporting general business development and investment. Examples might include the UK Shared Prosperity Fund, business grants. These can help SMEs investing in tangible assets. There's the Farming Equipment and Technology Fund, the FETF for agricultural productivity, also the Rural Business Development Grant Scheme for rural enterprises.
Okay.
And it's always worth checking for local or regional grants, too, as they often provide capital for machinery or business development projects. It takes a bit of digging, but they can be valuable.
Right, shifting gears slightly, but still on the financial and operational side. For electric forklifts, the battery is, well, it's the heart of the machine, isn't it? And our source has a quite shocking statistic here that really underscores its importance.
Yeah, what's fascinating, maybe alarming here, is a study by the Forklift Battery Council. They found that battery-related issues account for a staggering 36% over a third of all electric forklift downtime.
Wow, 36% just from the battery.
Just from the battery and its related systems. That statistic alone just screams why the battery condition and its maintenance history are absolutely paramount when you're looking at buying a used electric model.
So what are the key checks for the battery then?
You need to ask some critical questions. How old is the battery itself? How many charge cycles has it actually completed? What's its current capacity retention? Is it still holding above, say, 80% of its original capacity? Less than that can mean significantly reduced shift life. Are there meticulous maintenance and, importantly, watering records? Proper battery care is vital. And finally, does the battery manufacturer offer ongoing support, warranties, or perhaps battery regeneration services? These can sometimes extend battery life by around 30%, delaying that big replacement cost. These factors significantly impact not just the purchase decision, but the long-term viability and operational cost of that electric forklift.
So really drilling down into those financial nuances, the tax implications, potential grants, and especially critical technical details like battery health on electrics, it can hugely impact your operational costs and, well, the long-term viability of the investment.
Absolutely.
Okay, final section. The world of logistics, warehouses, it's constantly evolving with new technology.
Yeah.
Constantly. So how does a potentially older, used forklift fit into that future? This is all about future-proofing your investment, right?
This is such a critical point for making a long-term investment. You really want to ensure your purchase remains relevant and doesn't become obsolete too quickly, hindering your operations later. Technologies like IoT, telematics for sophisticated fleet management, data analysis, and various forms of automation are rapidly becoming standard, or at least expected, in modern warehouses.
Yeah, you see it everywhere.
You do. So you need to assess if the used forklift you're considering offers any kind of telematics integration potential. Can you easily add it on? Does it have any advanced safety features already built in, like object detection or speed limiting in certain zones? These are increasingly important for site safety. Is it compatible with modern warehouse management systems, WMS? Can it talk to your other systems? And looking further ahead, does it hold any potential for automation or semi-automation upgrades, maybe retrofitting later on?
It's really about measuring that investment not just against today's needs, but against future trends and your own business's long-term objectives. It even brings back the question of, is outright buying always the smartest move compared to more flexible solutions like long-term hiring, especially if tech changes fast?
Precisely. The key insight here is don't just buy for today. Make sure your used forklift won't become an expensive legacy system in just a few years, something that actually hinders your future growth and efficiency rather than enabling it.
Wow. What an incredibly comprehensive deep dive into what might, on the surface, seem like a fairly straightforward purchase, buying used forklift. But we've covered so much ground, from looking beyond just the hours on the clock to understanding all those hidden costs, navigating the regulations, tax breaks, resale value, and even those crucial future-proofing considerations.
Yeah, and if we connect this all back to the bigger picture, this isn't just about buying a machine at the end of the day. It's about making an informed, strategic decision, one that really impacts your business's productivity, its finances, and its long-term trajectory. Following these crucial checks isn't solely about saving a bit of money up front. It's truly about investing in increased uptime, better operational efficiency, and securing a solid potential resale value down the road. It's smarter business.
Absolutely. And for you, our listener, here's maybe a final provocative thought to chew on, something to take away from this deep dive. Given the incredibly rapid advancements we're seeing in logistics, technology, AI, automation, data analytics, how might the very definition of a well-maintained or future-proof forklift evolve even faster in the next, say, 5 to 10 years? And what implications does that accelerating pace of change have for the traditional model of asset ownership versus maybe more flexible solutions like long-term hiring or leasing? Something to think about.
Definitely something to consider.
Keep learning, keep questioning, and thanks for taking this deep dive with us.